sucks and it's horseshit. But I'm too polite to say anything because I'm a class act.
Oh, every time the Giants do something good, they do something stupid. This is Tim's New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. I just got my season ticket holder gift in the mail today, and then the Giants, I read, unretire a number to give it to Malik Nabers. Let's start with the season ticket holder gift. Great gift. It came in a beautiful box. I posted it on Twitter. They gave a commemorative ticket, which was very nice, in a nice plexiglass thing or whatever hell, a lucite glass thing or whatever hell it's called. They also gave a box of Super Bowl rings. And I laugh because they are the same rings that we have been giving out here on OBB for years. So my wife comes downstairs and said, "Is someone on the Giants organization watching your channel? Because you've been giving out these rings for like 3 years now." I was like, but it's a great gift. Last year and the last 2 years, we got plastic cups, a schedule, and a pennant. And we got the same pennant for the last 2 years. And you would think for the amount of money we spend, that they would step up a little bit. And they finally did step up a little bit because I've seen some of the things that season ticket holders have gotten for the Eagles and my friend over in the Carolina Panthers and a couple other places. And I've always seen that and I've been a little bit jealous. Well, this year they're going to be jealous of me. So Malik Nabers wanted a new number. You know, we couldn't take number 8 because of the fact that's by the venerable Daniel Jones. Couldn't get number 9 because of Graham Gano. So he had discussed with the New York Giants organization, Joe Shane, John Mara, about the number 1. And he asked if there was any possibility if he could get that number. So those that are familiar with the Giant history, such as we are here, Ray Flaherty is the gentleman that wore number 1 first, and it is a retired number. Now, one of the significance of this retired number is not only is it a retired number for the Giants, he became the first professional football player to have his number retired back. I think it was back in was it like 1935? I think it was. That I don't remember off the top of my head. And it's interesting that the Giants would even consider unretiring the number because their prized rookie wants to wear a different number. And it's one of those things that you would think if Wellington was around, would Wellington have allowed this? And you could say, well, you know, Flaherty hasn't been here. He hasn't played for the Giants in years. Yeah, he was also inducted to the Hall of Fame in 1976. He is one of these guys that if you look at him in the lores of Giant history, because of the way the league was back in the day, some of his accomplishments are pretty impressive. And I just find it interesting that the Giants would do something such as this. He joined the Giants back, I think it was in the 1929 season. He left. I think he left the following year to go coach basketball. I think he coached basketball. I want to say Gonzaga. I want to say Gonzaga. But then he came back to the Giants, earned first team All-Pro honors 3 times. He led the NFL in receptions in 1932, which was extremely difficult to do because of the fact that it wasn't a heavy passing league. He led the league in receptions, touchdowns, yards per game. I think yards per reception. If you remember the Sneaker Bowl game on the frozen tundra of the Polo Grounds, Flaherty was the guy that suggested that they change from the cleats to the sneakers because of the frozen ground. And the Giants went on to score 27 points in the fourth quarter. And it was the famed sneaker game. Now, the reason that he did this, he suggested it was because it's something that they had done. They had done at Gonzaga. So this is a guy, if you take a look at him through the annals of Giant history, first number ever retired in NFL history and pro football history was this number 1 was Ray Flaherty. Of course, number retired from Giants, elected into the Hall of Fame in 76. He also became the head coach. I think it was, what was it back then was the Boston Redskins. I think he won 4, he won 2 league titles and I believe he won 4 division titles. He is credited with inventing the screen pass. And back then he had to sling and Sammy ball with him. But it's just one of those things that you take a look at the Giants and you're like, okay, you're trying to do this to placate the young player, trying to do this to placate the fan base because you don't want the young player to be upset. Yeah, now Ray Flaherty's family gave the okay on this, but, if they didn't, segment of the Giant fans would be upset. But for the fact that the Giants even went and asked to have this number unretired, it's crazy to me. We always talk about the history of the Giants, the history of this team. But then we just go turn around and just say, well, fuck history. We had to go out and draft a wide receiver to try to save the career of our fledgling quarterback. And if this guy doesn't put up huge fucking numbers for us, we just unretired the first number in NFL history, which was retired by the Giants from a Hall of Famer. And I was thinking players that had their number unretired. And the only ones I could think up off the top of my head is I believe the Broncos unretired 18 for Peyton Manning. But of course, that was Peyton Manning, who at the time was at the top of his game, coming back, of course, off the neck injury. But he was Peyton Manning, Super Bowl winner, puts up prolific stats. And I believe Seattle unretired briefly Steve Largent's number when Jerry Rice came over. But again, Hall of Famer Jerry Rice. He did, Super Bowl winner, did all these things in the league, and they went and unretired the number. But the Giants, it just kills me that, like I said, we talk about history, we talk about the New York Giants, we talk about everything that we are. And at the end of the day, we take our history, we take, and I love it that they gave you this commemorative ticket from the first season with all these great Hall of Famers on it. And I'm thinking to myself, so we could just unretire Lawrence Taylor's number if we need a linebacker. We could just unretire Phil Simms' number. We could unretire, Frank Gifford's number. We could unretire Eli Manning's number. Malik Nabers has all the skills and all the promise in the world, but he hasn't done anything. He's done nothing yet. And in this microwave society, as I like to refer to it, where everything has to be instantaneous, the thought process of even reaching out to Ray Flaherty's family and asking about unretiring this number, to me, is ludicrous. Think about this for a minute. You are the first guy in NFL history to have your number retired. Number one, which is interesting. It's number one, and he's the first guy to do it. First guy to have it done. You're a Hall of Famer. You're all this. And we are going to give that number. We're going to ask the family to unretire it so we can give it to a rookie who has yet to do anything in this league because of the fact that we drafted him as a weapon to save our quarterback and hopefully save our franchise. It's hard to be a Giant fan at times, guys. It really is. And I know the younger fan base will be like, well, it doesn't fucking matter. It's just a number. That's not the point. The point is, if you do not learn from history, you are condemned to repeat it. You are putting more pressure on this kid over and over again to save the franchise. You're doing everything in your path to save your quarterback, to save your franchise, to save your season on one player, to the fact that you are unretiring the first number ever retired in NFL history. Oh, we got a show coming up on Friday. It's going to be with the Dahmer. Not only are we going to talk about it's not going to be a live stream, but we're going to do I think we're going to do like an hour-long show. I haven't decided how long it's going to be yet. We're going to talk about the NFL. We're going to talk about the Giants. We're going to talk about everything. So that'll be out, I think, 11:30 on Friday. We'll try to come up with a live stream when we can, but like I said, with school back in session, everything going on, the house has been crazy, and I got a lot of other stuff going on as well. So we'll try to see what we can do. And as always, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to ring that bell because you want to know why. That'll be awesome.